What is good, everybody? Welcome inside the Gold Standard Podcast Studios. Rob Stats Guerrera, Troy Clardy, and you. And I do that, of course, in homage to you, Troy, who I'm very happy and excited to say is part of the 49ers radio broadcast team this season. First of all, congratulations. Thank you for joining me. How do you feel?
No, thank you, man. It's always great to see you. Always great to talk to you. You and I go back a long ways back to our previous professional lives. Doing well, doing great. Best time of year is here, and it's going to get a little bit busier with the assignment with the 49ers coming up. And look, I'm just going to say it, right off the bat, and just be completely frank and candid here. I absolutely hate why this is happening. I hate why this is happening. I hate the reasons why this is coming about. I'm simultaneously honored to be able to don the headset, to be able to keep it warm for Greg Papa for a game or two, and just honored to be a part of it, man. San Francisco 49ers radio network. I mean, that's pretty cool. So honored to be a part of it.
Now, for anyone that doesn't know, first of all, you have a ton of Bay Area ties. You're also the voice for Stanford football and men's basketball. You worked in the Bay Area for years. So this is not a new thing for you. You in the Bay Area go back a long way.
We go back a long ways. I'd rather not say how long, but it's been a while. But went to Stanford back in the 90s. It even dates back to my days growing up as an Oakland A's fan, back when that was a thing. Watching the Bash Brothers and Canseco and McGuire and Dave Stewart and Eck and Carney Lansford with that funny little batting stance that he had. Those were some great teams. And having been in the Bay Area for much more than half of my life now, and knowing how Bay Area fans think, and look, Niner fans take the team very seriously, take the results very seriously, but what I do appreciate in some ways is that Niner fans also approach things with a little bit of perspective. Look, I lived in Pittsburgh for 4 years, right? Doing sports radio in that town. When the Steelers lose in Pittsburgh, there is a palpable pall that hangs over that entire city, and it doesn't lift until probably Wednesday morning. When the Niners lose here in the Bay Area, I mean, yeah, folks are bummed out about it, and depending on the result and whom they've lost to and all those sorts of things, Niner fans are pretty ticked off, but it wears off a lot more quickly, and then it evolves into, hey, you know what? There's a new Peruvian joint down the road. Let's go check that out. So it's kind of a different deal, but it's obviously awesome to be a part of it, and to be to be able to connect with 49er fans in this way.
So, if you can take us back to the beginning. Obviously, we know Greg announces the news, and I echo all the sentiments you expressed earlier. But so that happens, and then. Did the 49ers, did you just get a call one day and it was like, hey, we're the 49ers and we want you to come broadcast some of our games?
Well, and it's kind of funny because I know a few folks, in the front office there on the broadcast side of things, people I've worked with a long time ago, dating back to my initial days in Bay Area radio before moving out to Bristol, Connecticut, and working for some media company called ESPN. I wonder how they're doing these days. But being able to maintain some of those relationships and being able to rekindle them on some level. Back when, I was working with Compass Media Networks and calling NFL games for them, I did 3, of the games I did for Compass, 3 of them were 49ers games. Christian McCaffrey's first start with the 49ers, that was the game down at SoFi Stadium, in which Christian ran for a touchdown, caught a touchdown, and then threw for another touchdown, a comeback win for the Niners over the Rams. Later on that season, I was on the call for Compass for Brock Purdy's first start that rainy afternoon against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then 2023, I was on for Cowboys-Niners Sunday Night Football when Danny White and I were just looking at each other in the fourth quarter and going, okay, what kind of compelling content could we possibly have, because this game is completely out of control. So it was good to be able to, see those folks. By the way, Niners are 3-0 when I'm on the mic. Okay, I'm just throwing that out there. But so it was good to be able to rekindle, some of those relationships along the way, and I get a text. I'm doing Little League, the Junior League Softball World Series up in Kirkland, Washington, just on the other side of the lake from Seattle. And I get a text, and it's like, hey, you got a minute? I'm like, I'm sorry. I've literally got 3 games to call today, and I really actually don't really have any true time. Can we talk tomorrow? And yeah, and so that's when I first I didn't know about Pop, and Pop, he's a hero to me. He's a play-by-play hero to me. I produced his radio show back when it was on the Ticket 1050, back in the early 2000s, back when he was still the Raiders play-by-play voice. Love Pop to death. Would walk through a wall for him, and it was a gut punch, really, and it breaks me up to see what he's going through right now. So it was a gut punching to get that news. But at the same time, again, I'm honored to get that call. So that's kind of how it came about.
Have you been in touch with Papa since this news came out about you being one of the 5?
Yeah, we've exchanged texts, and he's, I just said, hey, I'm gonna keep the headset warm for you, for a game or two. I'm thinking of you and pulling for you. And he responded and said, "Hey, go get him," and gave the little thanks hands, and the bicep too. So, good to hear from. Good to hear that his spirits are staying up. It's going to be a tough road, from what I understand, a tough fight for him, but he's Pop. I mean, that's the man, right? There's no doubt in my mind that he's gonna be back in the 49er radio booth very soon, where he belongs.
Have you worked with Tim Ryan before? I know he's done some work, I believe, for Westwood. You've done work, obviously, for Westwood One. Have you guys ever crossed paths?
We've crossed paths. We've never worked together, but we have crossed paths. I remember way back in the day, back when he was still with Fox and doing analysis for them. Every once in a while, I'd call him up when I was producing radio shows, and I'd call him up, and he'd hop on because he's lived down in San Jose this whole entire time. So we've talked on the phone, the couple times, when I've done Niners games, I've poked my head into the booth. It was kind of funny. The Cowboys Niners game 2023, they actually stuck us right next door to the 49ers booth. So I could literally look over and see Pop and Tim Ryan both doing their thing. So yeah, we've definitely crossed paths. We've had conversations off and on here and there, but those were way back in the day. Looking forward to rekindling some things later on this fall.
So when this news first broke, I was saying to my listeners, like, this is not an easy thing to try and get someone to fill this spot because your schedule for the most part is already booked up. I mean, you had a full slate ready to go. Most people in the business in August have their fall schedule ready to go. So what are you doing now to sort of cram, to prepare for this now? Because you were not in a 49ers world until, this news came out.
No, I mean, in passing, every once in a while, but, I wasn't necessarily, up to the minutia, up to speed on the minutia on what was happening all throughout training camp and all sorts of things. I mean, yeah, I was cognizant of some things, oh my gosh, another injury, man, boy, they just haven't had any luck, so far this training camp. So it was kind of rough, seeing some of the headlines, especially as far as that was concerned, coming out of camp. But you know what? The good news is that, the last couple of weeks have been spent getting ready for Stanford. Cardinal had their regular season opener already. It was in Hawaii last week in Honolulu. That game could have ended certainly a lot better from my perspective than it did. Back to the drawing board. They've got the bye week this week, then out to BYU next week, and we'll see what happens from there. So with that, obviously, preparing for the season opener, they're, preparing for, production and all those sorts of other things that, that we're trying to get up to snuff. Really, that was my world for a couple of weeks, just getting ready for the Stanford season. But now that that's off and running, now that I'm kind of in the Stanford routine, I can still also kind of, get some things in with Niners, look at stuff consistently. Obviously, I'll be checking out every game, snap to snap. It's beautiful being here in the Bay Area. We will see every game from snap to snap. So, the preparation, has started, shall we say, and that process will continue. I'm not sure if I'm at liberty to say, what game or games that I have coming up on the slate. I will say that a game that I have could have an outsized influence on how things are decided in the NFC West. So I'll just
Ooh,
leave it at that.
okay. If you're looking to catch up and cram, I humbly suggest you may have a former colleague who does a 5-minute daily 49ers news podcast every morning that
Really,
you
who?
catch up on. Just saying, it's called 49ers at 5. Take a listen.
Huh.
You may
Huh.
want to
Okay.
check it out.
Well,
Oh,
I'm gonna give that a look and a listen.
now, have you been in touch with Guy Haberman or any of the other of your quintet of broadcasters?
It's funny. Justin Allegri, who's also in the mix as well. He's the voice of Cal football and men's basketball. He joined in 2023 with Cal after many years at San Jose State. I joined Stanford in that role as a play-by-play voice in 2023 as well. And he and I have come to become very good friends. We'll often hold our ACC West Coast ACC announcers West Coast Bureau meetings, lunch and all that sort of stuff. We haven't had a chance to do it so far this preseason. We because he's up to Oregon State, where the Bears opened there this week. So I'm sure we'll try to get it done here sooner rather than later. But Justin's an awesome dude. I was so happy to see that he was in the mix and on that list. And Guy and I worked together. We were hosts together on the same radio station for a while, especially when I came back from Pittsburgh initially and moved back to the Bay Area. So, he and I texted each other, hey, congrats and all that sort of stuff. So good camaraderie, at least between myself and and two of the other guys. Carlos, I've not worked with. I've seen his work. And how about the kid from USC?
Yeah.
So it's most of us know each other. I'm not sure if all of us know each other, but there are degrees of separation there that are pretty closely knit.
And it's crazy too, because Justin took over at Cal for Joe Starkey, who of course called Niners games forever. And now he's going to get the chance to be in the booth as well. That's really, really cool. Last question for you. A very important question. You're calling the game. Brock Purdy drops back to pass. He throws to Christian McCaffrey. He breaks 3 tackles and runs into the end zone. Are we going to get a touchdown San Francisco Greg Papa style call?
No, we're not going to do that. No. No. I could not do that justice. That calls Pops. It belongs to him. And I think if I tried to do that too, it would come off maybe a bit too sticky, in a sense. So no, that belongs to Pop. Pop is Pop, but you know what? I'm me. I'm kind of a unique dude in some senses. I'll try to bring some humor. I'm not going to be afraid to crack a joke when necessary during the course of play-by-play. Drop a few bad puns in there and things like that. So look, I mean, this is football. It's supposed to be fun, right? We're not here solving the world's problems and all those sorts of things that drive you to try to follow sports more deeply anyway, especially in this day and age, it seems. I'm here to have fun. And that's going to be my same philosophy, and I keep that same philosophy, no matter, who I'm putting on the headsets for, whether it's for Stanford, whether it's for Niners, whether it's for ESPN, whether it's for Little League, whatever. We're here to have fun. Yes, we're also here to talk about what's happening on the field and all those sorts of things. If the Niners, heaven forbid, have a gut-punching loss or something like that, yeah, we're going to feel it too. We're going to feel all those emotions and all those sorts of things too. But, I'm just going to keep it and try to be me the whole entire time. And above all, try not to screw it up, So, but yeah, we're going to have fun. I think, I'm pretty sure. Again, that call belongs to Pop. And I cannot wait to hear it again live and in real time before it's all said and done.
Is that like an unwritten rule among play-by-play guys or play-by-play people, I should say? Like, don't do the other person's call.
I don't know. It might depend. And it's kind of tough, because there's so many different variables, perhaps, when surrounding things. But it's kind of my approach, certainly. you know, yeah, I can't go on the mic sounding like Pop. That's impossible. I can go on the mic sounding like me, and I think it's all right, and hopefully it's a very 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 good show whenever it rolls around. Looking forward to getting a crack or two at it.
Clearly, you're doing something right because the 49ers called you and said, "Hey, we want you to come and do some of the games for us." I cannot wait to hear it. I'm so excited. Um, I don't even I don't even know what it's going to be like to hear a 49ers game because I haven't actually heard any of the other ones that you have called because I like one of the games, literally the Cowboys game, I was at that game. So I wasn't listening on the radio. So I haven't heard it. I'm very excited to get the chance to hear it and very excited for you. Glad so many good things continue to happen for you. You've earned every single one of them, Troy.
No, thank you. And the same can be said for you too, man. You're still doing it. You're in it. You're having fun. You're talking about the team that you've loved. I remember rolling my eyes at you a few times when you'd have something to say about the Niners or something like that. Walking into the control room in Bristol, I'd be like, "Oh Lord, here comes stats again." My goodness, what did JT O'Sullivan do this time? You know. So, but look, it's awesome to see. It's awesome to see what you've been up to. Awesome to see you keep it going, and it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
That's Troy Clardy. If you want more, check out troyclardy.com and basically tune in any broadcast anywhere. Chances are you're going to hear Troy at some point. So thanks again. We really appreciate it.
Hey, appreciate you as well. Let's do it again soon. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane. Go Stanford and go Niners.